You be my honeysuckle, I'll be your honeybee.
Hi, and welcome back to Be Creative Stamping. Last year, around Father's Day, I had created this shirt card using the mini treat bag Thinlits dies. I have had so many responses, questions. How do I make this without the Thinlit dies? So today I'm going to share with you this shirt card. We're going to use our Stampin' trimmer and scoring blade to create this shirt. So before we get started, I do want you to see the designer paper that we're using today. This is our brand new catalog, the 2016-17 annual catalog, and we're using the Moroccan designer paper right here. So let me show that to you close up. This is one of the sheets of paper, and here is another one. And this is the shirt paper that I used to create the first shirt card, and this is the opposite side of it. And we have the green. And so now you can see all the different designer papers in this pack. This also has a coordinating stamp set. And if I remember, I will put that on the screen for you so that you can look that up, and I'll put the item number with it. I'm having a hard time opening this one here. There we go. Right there. So that's all the Moroccan designer paper for you. Okay, so we're going to start with this paper right here, and I'm going to bring in my Stampin' trimmer, and I will have a supply list at the bottom of my video. And if you're on YouTube, you can just click on my link to go to my blog, and then you'll find the supply list there. Okay. We're going to start with this designer paper right here. This is the other side of it, and I'm actually going to make the opposite shirt, okay? So then you'll have two options for creating this shirt. You want to be sure that when you cut this particular sheet of paper, you want this to be 8 inches across and then 5 inches, all right, for the width. By doing that, the shirt will be in the correct direction. It'll be up and down, okay? Now for this side, we don't have to worry about it, but if you create the shirt with this side of the designer paper, you do need to take that into consideration, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna turn this over here, and I have it on the 5-inch side, and we're gonna take it over to a 1/2 inch. And that is my 1/2 inch right there. So you can see here, this is 5 inches, okay, that's the width. I'm going to move that over to my 1/2 inch mark, okay. Another way to score is to take your designer paper right here and score from this side. You can do it either way, but I find it easier to do it here so that I can hang on to the designer paper, okay? Now you're going to want to use your scoring blade, and that is your lighter blade, okay? There are two here. That's the cutting blade and the scoring blade. And I have my cutting blade at the very top, but I believe when you purchase the Stampin' trimmer, the scoring blade is at the top, but you can move these blades however you want. So I'm going to take the scoring blade, and let me just scoot up the trimmer here so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to lightly go across, okay, so that I can get that 1/2 inch scoring mark, okay. It's easier to see when I bend the paper for you. All right, along the 8-inch side, you're going to want to score at 2 inches, okay. So again, scoring blade, 2 inches. And then we're going to move over to 5 3/4 inches. See that? And let me just move the trimmer again. And I am going to score right there. And don't push too hard because you don't want to get a cut in your paper. designer paper's thinner than cardstock, so you want to be a little more gentle with that, okay? So I'm going to move the Stampin' trimmer out of the way. I am going to fold on these score lines just so that we can see them. Here we go. And before we assemble the shirt, we're going to do some cutting here. So make sure you can see your scoring lines. We're going to cut on that score line right across to the very first bend. And I know this will be difficult for you to see. You could also use your Stampin' trimmer to cut that out, okay? You don't have to use scissors. We're creating a flap right here, all right? All right, now we're going to go to the other side, and sometimes I find it easier to cut on the blue side. You may find it easier on the Cajun Craze side, okay? So we have gotten rid of that. We are going to need to run a little bit of tape right along here. Remember, this time I'm going to use the opposite side of the designer paper. So I have a totally new shirt. I'm actually going to run my fast fuse right along there. You can use tear and tape. You can also use snail. And here I am going to close the shirt. And then I'm going to run my fast fuse right along here. And when I lift up on fast fuse, I'm giving it a check mark, okay? Alrighty. And then I am going to fold there, okay? Alright, I should have folded up just a little bit more. Maybe I can release this and maybe not. Let's see. I think I'm going to be able to get this up. I just want to fold that one side. Looked a little bit crooked for me, and I just want it to make it straight, okay? So let's make sure I'm getting that. There we go. Okay. Got it. All right. And now we're ready to add our little strip on the shirt, okay? And I'm going to try 2 different colors. We're now going to work on the inside of the shirt, so I'm going to pull this out so that you can see what the inside looks like. And we are actually going to start with this sheet of paper right here. And it does measure 3 5/8 by 4 1/2. And this time you could actually use any color on the inside that you want. And so I pulled 3 colors that would look nice with this shirt. I've got Cajun Craze, Dapper Denim, and Very Vanilla. But I'm thinking that the Dapper Denim is going to look really, really sharp with this shirt. And so I think that's what we're going to use. Just be aware of other colors that you can use for this shirt as well, okay? So here we are. Here's our Dapper Denim. And we're going to take Very Vanilla cardstock. And you're going to want to measure this 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4 of an inch. And I'm actually going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to curl this a little bit. I just want to break up the fibers in this paper, okay? And I'm going to take the ends of the collar and I want them to be in the center, and I'm just going to guess that's the center. And let me zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm going to take the bone folder and press that down. Here's the other part of the collar. So you're just guessing where the middle is, and then you're folding downwards, and you want the 2 points at the top, or the 2 corners at the top, to make a point. So that's the only place that they are touching, okay? Let me zoom back out here. And I'm going to use glue dots to attach to the card. And so here are my glue dots. I'm going to flip this over. This is the front of the collar. I'm flipping it over. This is the back, and I'm putting a glue dot right there, okay? There we go. And I really don't want it to touch the back of the collar, okay? So again, a glue dot on the point right there. And that should work. And this is what's going to attach to the inside card. I'm going to guess where my center is. If you wanted, you could certainly measure, okay? But I'm guessing that that is the center for me, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this right back inside, and it fits just like this. We're now ready to add our bow tie, and we are going to use our Bow Builder punch. And I've already punched out one of these loops, so I'm going to insert this Dapper Denim cardstock into the punch. I just need this piece right here. All right. And I'm going to take the bone folder, and I am going to just curl that a bit to break up the fibers in the paper. I am going to need a glue dot, so I'm going to attach a glue dot right there, and then I'm going to take these two tabs and press them together to form a loop. I'm going to do the same with the other one, again using a glue dot. Put these two together. All right, and now I want both of these loops to come together, so I'm going to use a glue dot again. I just found that glue dots were just super fast to do this, okay? All right, now at this point you may want to change the center of your bow, and I'm going to try this. Not sure if I'm going to like it or not, but I need this piece right here. And I also like to curl this as well, all right? And let me just see how that's going to look. All right, I'm going to close it and put that around there. I think we'll give it a try. You could also use this piece, which is the opposite of that designer paper. Maybe I will use this one. You can also use solid color cardstock. You could use Cajun Craze cardstock, Very Vanilla, or the Dapper Denim to coordinate with this designer paper. I am putting a glue dot on the end of each side, okay? I'm going to put that Dapper Denim, the designer paper right there in the middle, and at this point, I am going to wrap it around, okay? All right, and again, one more glue dot will take care of this. I'm going to pull the shirt out, and I'm going to place, maybe I'll put the shirt back in. That might be easier as far as placement. I'm going to place that little bow right there at the top, okay? And so that'll make it easy for this to slide in and out, all right? So just like that. And if you feel like you need more stability, you can certainly add a few more glue dots, and I may end up doing that. So once this part is done, you're ready to add the strip to the shirt. And we're going to go back to this sample here, and you'll see the strip that I added. You're going to want it to line up with the middle of that bow. So that's why we're doing this piece last. And it's going to go about right here. I could also use Cajun Craze, so let's give that a look. We could do that, but I think the Dapper Denim just really makes it pop. I'm going to use Snail to put this on. So I'm just going to run it along the strip. And by the way, this strip measures 3/8 of an inch and 4.5 inches. I'll have the measurements on your supply list, and if I think about it, I'll even put them on the screen. Okay, so I'm lining up this little guy right here, and with designer paper, it almost makes it a little easier because I can run that strip right along that little blue square, okay? So use your designer paper to help you out. All right, we're now going to add some buttons, and I'm going to be using candy dots, and I'm using the Neutrals candy dots and the Very Vanilla one, okay, which is this one right here. They have retired, so I want to show you the new candy dots in our new annual catalog. You're going to find them on page 177, and they're called enamel shapes, okay, and you can get them in brights, regals, and subtles. And also you can use the in color enamel shapes as well, and those are with their brand new in colors. Another option are these metal rimmed pearls. I would use the tiniest ones, and you could also use pearls or rhinestones. So just want to give you some options there in case you don't have any candy dots left over. All right, these have adhesive on them, and so I'm just going to pick them up with my scissor points, just like that. And I'm going to add one right here at the top. It's best to use an odd number. Again, another candy dot, and I'll put that one about right there. And now I'm going to add my second one, and I'm just going to space them out so that I don't have to measure. Let's put one about right there. And then I'm doing the center one last. Okay. Okay, we're now going to finish up our shirt card by working on the inside. I'm actually using a brand new stamp here and a brand new punch. And it's entitled Thoughtful Banners. So there's a Father's Day in here and a Mother's Day, and they are meant to be used all together, and they fit in any one of these banners. They also fit in this label punch. This is a separate punch here that we're not using today, but for these three banners you can use this punch. So this is my scrap Very Vanilla paper, and I just need to grab my ink, and that is Dapper Denim. And I'm going to start with the banner, and I'm just going to stamp it right in the center so I get a nice crisp ink image. And I'm going to take Father's Day. I've rounded Father's Day just a little bit on the block, and then I'm going to stamp it right inside the banner. So this is pretty awesome that it's photopolymer because I can see right through the stamp and I know where to place my words. Okay, so that's Happy Father's Day. We're going to insert it right here. And this punch is created for us to use upside down. And we're going to punch that out. And we have our little banner here. All right, so I'm going to get this out. And I did add one little Very Vanilla panel here just so that you can write a special message in there to your dad or to your hubby for being a great father. All right, so here's the Very Vanilla that's going to go right here on the shirt. And it's measuring 3 inches. Excuse me, it's measuring 3 inches this way by 1 3/4 inches, okay? I'm going to use our Project Life corner rounder and insert that paper, and it's going to rest in there on both guides. And then it'll just round the corners all the way around. It just kind of gives it a softer look. I'll use my snail to adhere this. And I'm just going to kind of center it along the bottom here. And then for this little banner, I'm going to pop it up. You don't have to, but you can if you'd like. And we're just going to take the dimensionals off of that and put it right there, okay? And so now I'm going to slide it back into the shirt. Here we go. And this is their Father's Day shirt card. This would also be a great masculine birthday. So these are 2 shirts. And please let me know if you have any questions. And look for the supply list. Definitely visit my blog, get the supply list, and get started. Thanks so much for buzzing by.
You be my honeysuckle.